appreciate it. I want to, oh yeah. Yeah, hey guys, this is the call. This is the New Earth, California, July 29th call. But yeah, I wanted to say, yeah, thank you for sharing it. Your wish is your command. I mean, it's pretty great, man. Like it's like one of the better things I've ever, listened to, So
Yeah.
I think it's perfect for the group. It's really perfect for this group right now. So I hope everybody. I'm sure everybody's gonna check it out. But yeah, I guess my findings. I mean, I haven't really had much time to think about it. Um, so I'm not like experiencing anything crazy right now. But I will say, I will. This is kind of silly, but I will say I was really bummed out that I only because oh, we're getting some interference here. Oh, I saw it. Oh, there we go. So so I was kind of bummed out that I didn't have enough quarters for the laundry for my laundry. I was literally 1 quarter short. I had one. I had one. I needed a quarter, and I know I don't have a quarter. I don't have quarters. Like I don't have any change here. Like there's no change in my apartment. So I'm like really bummed out about it. And I just start. I guess I start thinking. I'm listening to the thing. So that's just improving my mood. The whole time. So last night I'm going to bed and there's like a quarter right on my nightstand. It's like right there. And I'm like, when did I put that there? When did that happen? I don't know. Like, just like, wow. So I had enough quarters to do laundry today and I'm very happy about that. So that's my really just, kind of pathetic findings so far. So far, I had a quarter. I got a quarter from it.
Regardless, it came at exactly the right moment.
And I thought, yeah, and I thought it wasn't gonna come. Especially not in my apartment. I didn't think I was gonna find one. So I was really, just surprised by that. So that's making me feel better. And that's the key to it. I guess the key to it is the better things happen. Like the more things happen, the better you feel. So the more things happen, the better you feel. And it's just a continuing. So I'm just trying to keep that up. I mean, I've just listened to it and I'm just trying to get it right. That's really my big thing. I'm not trying to just go for it right away because I want to do it right. So I'm listening. I listened to it, and I was trying not to let it overwhelm me. I was just trying to all right, if I get overwhelmed by this, I'm just going to listen to it again, and I'm going to write things down. I wrote a bunch of stuff down. I took a big white piece of paper and just wrote down everything. Everything important to me, things that I resonated with me. And yeah, so I'm just trying to, trying to be, make it repetitive, just repeat everything that resonates with me mostly, and doing the things correctly in the right order, because it really does matter. I mean, because there's all these books about the secret and all that shit, but it doesn't work because you're not doing it right. You're not focusing on the right thing, or it's in the wrong order or something. And that to me, that's really makes a lot of sense, because the I think, was it him that said this? It's like if you have the right ingredients, but you don't have it in the right way, then I can't. You don't. like if you have a recipe for muffins or whatever, and it's the greatest recipe, but you don't write it down correctly, and a million people do make the muffins with that recipe, then one person is going to get it right because they mess it up and put it in the right order. So that is definitely what's going on. It seems like The Secret and all those books, because it's like, you read that and it doesn't really work, because, or if it doesn't work for you, then you're just doing it in the right order. And, everyone else is doing it in the wrong order in which the book is doing it. So yeah, that's what I'm just trying to focus on, doing it right, and before, conceiving of everything I want, before building a world that I want, I'm just trying to figure out what the ways, because I don't want to do it wrong, but it's you got all the time in the world, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's my findings, and yeah, that's about all I got on it so far. I just I think he has, it seems like what he's saying is right on the money, because every big celebrity, every big business person always kind of says the same thing. Like, I was even just watching the new Joe Rogan podcast with that kid rapper Post Malone, and he was asking him, like, how do you come up with the music? How does the music happen or whatever? And he's literally repeated the same thing that, kind of what Kevin Trudeau was saying, it's kind of just like I kind of make it all by mistake. Like, it's just me being in the right place at the right time in the right moment. And I was like, yeah, that's it. That's exactly what, you don't expect it to happen. You don't expect it to happen a certain way. It happens. It just happens. And it doesn't matter, how it happens. It just happens.
Hey, Sean.
Yep.
Next time you find that quarter you need, be sure and say, thank you, I'm grateful, because the more you say thank you and grateful, it kind of perks up that vibration, that frequency, and it'll encourage more of same, and it gets bigger.
That's great. Yeah, I will. I'll definitely keep that in mind for sure. Yeah, that's good. That's good advice. Yeah, I'm wondering if I said thank you now when I got it. I can't remember.
Anytime's okay. It sounds to me like you are thankful.
I am thankful. I am very thankful, actually.
Yeah, gratefulness and appreciation are huge.
Yeah.
Huge part of all this.
Yeah, and feeling good, too. I'm just trying to feel as good as possible. And that's one thing I actually want to say I was having trouble with, because when he says feeling good, it's like, it's like that's trouble for me, because I'm like, well, if I'm and I love feeling good. I feel good I try to feel good as much as possible. But like, when I'm doing it for a reason, I feel like it's disingenuous. So I'm like, how do I feel good and do it like genuinely?
I mean, as a natural thing.
It's natural and more, but really coming from a genuine place. So that's my kind of biggest hurdle, because I should feel good because I feel good and not because I want something, but it is because I want something, because so it's kind of like throwing me off a little bit, but I think it's really just a matter of feeling good, and I'm just going to keep doing that. Just going to keep feeling good.
Well, if you remember, I don't know if this will help or not, but he gives a lot of different things that you can do.
Right. Yeah.
That will naturally make you feel good, such as if you don't have a good diet, if you're running, like he mentions, if you go to McDonald's every day,
yeah,
or or maybe you do, if you don't, might want to consider making some changes with your diet. Going to a more organic diet, you know. He also mentioned if you really, you know, like if you wake up and you're just like, I don't even want to get up, you know, he gives you some tools such as Vicky mentioned to me, the Callahan technique, which is the tapping of the meridian points. It's a fantastic way. One thing I used to use a lot was, well, first of all, I don't ever remember being depressed or feeling depression. Whenever someone mentioned that word to me, I used to ask them, how does that feel? Because I've never experienced anything like that. Yeah. But if I even for a moment felt a little down, you know, I'm kind of always have been a beach roamer. Spent most of my life on the beach. So I would just immediately, if I wasn't feeling up to par, I would just go for a long walk on the beach. And he mentions this. And while you're walking, look at things far away. I remember being up in Redondo Beach at the time, and I'd go down and I'd walk right along the water's edge, and I'd focus on, let's say, the northern mountains, such as I think I could see as far as Malibu and up to the point where it turned towards Ventura. You know, I don't know what that's called, but there were mountains, and I used to just walk and just focus on those mountains, and it really works. You know, you just automatically get recharged and you feel great. So if anybody's, you know, experiencing any kind of depression like that, that's a great tool to have. Right. But go ahead, Sean. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. Yeah, it's also like whatever works for you, like whatever makes you happy, just do it. Just do whatever makes you happy, gets you feeling good, I guess. Yeah, and
some music can do that for you.
Music too, yeah. That's also another thing too, like just listening to your favorite music, stuff that you love the most. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing one thing. I'll get into that now. I guess I'm starting a food garden in my front, or in my, I guess, driveway, and it's great. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about actually doing something and growing food, and so like I don't know, like I'm not like I'm not really good at it yet, whatever. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna at least try. And also, my neighbors grow a lot of food too. They actually grow. Especially the one in front, she has a whole garden. She has a food garden out front. So, you know, in the beginning I was like, well, I don't really need to grow anything because she's growing it. But then I'm like, well, wait a minute. If I grow too, then we'll have more food, you know, and that way we'll, you know, it will be more bountiful and, you know, and harvest or whatever. So, and I really needed to do something. I really needed to get off my ass and do something that was more like positive like that. So I'm really, and just like something that's, you know, giving you more power. And also, and this happened because I was just, on Instagram, I was just looking at videos and I found a clip of that guy, Ron Finley, if you guys know him, you know, just a clip from his TED Talk. And it didn't even say his name. This girl who posted, she didn't even say his name, but I just connected it with it so much. I was like, that is so good that like I want to know more about that guy. I want to know more about this TED Talk. So I watched the whole TED Talk. It was amazing. And he just inspired me to be like, oh God, you know, like, what am I doing? I'm like, what am I doing? I'm not even trying, you know, to produce food. And I totally could. It's so easy. You know, it's just a minimal effort. You know, you just water it every day, you know, and if you want more, you plant more. And, you know, so that's just really, I'm enjoying doing that, and hopefully, I'm actually talking to my other neighbor too about it more too, and how we can expand and make it bigger, even more food, even more produce around. So hopefully that happens too. So yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, Sean. Good for you, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, recording's on, and we have a new member that I'd like to bring in and have Maya introduce herself and tell us a little bit about where she's from and how she found New Earth, California, and what are her intentions for joining our group. Did you hear that, Maya?
Yes, I'm just trying to.
Oh, there she is. You might need to turn up your volume, or you look like you're unmuted. You might have to get closer to your mic.
Yes.
Getting better.
Sorry, I didn't think about to bring in my headset. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So, yes, you probably see my big nose. I have my face stuck on the phone, but it's okay. So, I'm a friend of Rochelle, and definitely I am from Italy originally, and I'm an agricultural, that's my degree, all for what was back in the 80s in Italy, the true organic, when it was still possible, and all clean energy, and try to make a real better world without the crap of, I'm not going to say, I'm from Italy, so we have the Vatican, John, because I'm going to stop right there. But anyway, so I born American, even if I was up in Italy, and I always, I'm a lover of the truth, and Rochelle is the same. I'm a single mom with 4 kids, so finally my youngest one is 16 and a half, so I will have the chance to focus and study more, because I'm totally brand new on what you guys doing, but I know that I'm compelled and I'm in the right place. I fought for many years, even back in part of the Union Communion for, and it was a big agricultural project, with try to do the right things. But I was young, and life happened. So I'm hearing you, and that's even worse because yes, organic, for instance, you were talking about organic. For me, organic, it doesn't really exist anymore because you cannot control the rain. So whatever comes there. And so I just want the truth, and I know that they don't say it right. I always been known for a kind of extremely rebellious person. I'm sorry, not, but I'm very kind and very forgiving. But yeah, I'm very kind and very forgiving. But yes, I'm here with intention to go deeper and know more, and and bring something. I need to do something to make this world better, even in the area that you can. Taking care of even my own body. Since I moved in U.S. From Italy, it was just ridiculous, the shock of the food industry and the agricultural way and what we eat here. It's crazy.
Horrible.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to know better, to know more. I still don't have much time yet, but I'm about to go back to Texas, where I accidentally moved last year. But whatever, I can be fine wherever I am. That I believe is even worse. But I will have more time to go deep and study, because I really didn't study much. I watched few videos. I look few things, and I know that I'm on the right place, on the right track. Let's say it that way. And I thank Rochelle for always being there. I have tons of questions, ideas, and everything. So yeah, I think this is the right place.
Well, thank you, Maya.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. And take your time, catch up. You have a good coach with you there, and she'll direct you and bring you right up to speed in a short time.
You will. And forgive me, just forgive me if I will leave this Zoom media at a certain time. But as I said, I need to go and pick up my son. So, but I will do my part definitely. Okay.
Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maya.
Let's see if I
just to get back to Sean real quick, your mom is going to be doing a conversation call with me tomorrow. She contacted me today and tomorrow afternoon. So now that you have gone through the entire series, going to give you a little bit of time to let it all sink in. And then I'd like to do a call with you also, if you don't mind.
Yes, yeah, I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Okay, great. And after your mom, I believe Philip is in the queue after Jeannie for, let's say, this coming weekend, if possible.
This coming weekend?
Whenever it's comfortable for you.
No, I'm not ready yet.
Okay.
I should have spoken up last week. I had the gut, I was like, I don't think so.
That's okay.
I didn't say it. So I'd like to be, but
whenever you're ready.
Not yet. So, just
after
looking
Jeannie, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know. I've got to look at a couple of the other videos yet. I've been really overwhelmed in the last week, etc. And, when I listen to the Trudeau videos, I start with it and then it brings up all this shit. And so it's got this huge battle going on. So, I'm learning and steering. That's what I can share right now. But, I'm not ready yet. So thanks.
I understand what you're saying. I have to admit, when I first heard of shadow work by way of Thomas Williams, I realized right away that I had already done mine, and it was by way of my participation with the Global Information Network, and those audios will pretty much help you do your shadow work. So you might be experiencing some of that because they were set up for that specific purpose, to empower people, awaken people, so on and so forth. Okay.
So sometime, if we can talk some more about what shadow work is, et cetera, because I've been in therapy and doing all this stuff. So I was in satanic ritual abuse from my parents, et cetera, and whatever. So I've got one remaining brother who didn't experience that. He was a baby brother and they didn't do that to him. And so, it's just been a lot of dissonance. Reality dissonance for me. So I've done a tremendous amount of work, and I'm way ahead of where I used to be. But I'm still finding that this material is just to feel good, and work with that is still kind of like bringing up the habitual stuff. Seems more habitual at this point, and yet I am having some big aha moments. The video that you shared today, or that I listened to, that you shared from Trudeau, really helped me have an aha today. So thanks.
Which one was that?
Um, it's
I
number
think you're
3.
talking about the.
Patent. Patent
Yeah.
number 3.
Okay.
Patent number 3. So my father used to talk about Patton all the time and tried to be Patton, but he never ever gave me any kind of support or thanks or encouragement. It was always like tearing me down. But he was so, gung-ho about Patton and ran our family like the military, et cetera. But, so, which is why two of my brothers committed suicide, and I've been struggling with that most of my life. So, there's just still a lot for me to deal with here. So that's all. So, and I'm doing great. So, and I'm glad to be here. And so, thanks.
Yeah, take your time. Whenever you're ready, Philip, you can
I don't have a
contact me.
phone number for you either.
You're on Facebook, correct?
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe I first contacted you by way of Messenger. Do you use your Messenger?
No, not really. So I'll go in and look at it. I'll go in and look at it.
Yeah. I can't give you a phone number because I don't have a phone.
Okay. And then
I haven't had a phone for 10 years.
So contact you by Messenger. Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. Just send me a message by Messenger when you're ready. And that's the best way to get a hold of me. And then if you want to talk by phone, I can call you. I just don't have a phone number where you can call me. I use Skype nationally and internationally. It's internet phone service, Skype.
Okay, yeah, I've got Skype.
You've probably heard of that. Okay.
I haven't done that in a long time, but I can do that. So I'll get that together to do that. So
okay. So does anyone have any comments or suggestions for Philip concerning shadow work?
Yes.
Stella.
I do too.
Hi, Stella.
Hi. No, go ahead. You can talk first.
Oh, okay. This is Rochelle. I had to take off my video because for some reason my battery got consumed. But there was a Mark Passio video that Jim posted. It was the last one that he posted, and he goes through the shadow work in detail. And it's like step 1, 2, 3, 4. And that really made it crystal clear for me. So I even wrote down a few of the things that he said. Like one of the main ones that he said was spend time with yourself in introspection and just checking yourself out, like really paying attention to yourself. Another one that he said, which was highly confronting to me, was at all costs be honest. Sometimes if I'm late for a client or something like that, I'll make up an excuse, but it's that honesty, because honesty has a frequency and so does lying. So they were like only about 4 or 5 things, but very concise and very clear. Muting again.
Rochelle, do you remember what podcast that was?
No, but I will find out, and I will message it to you, Jim, and then if you can have Phyllis put it out.
I'll send it to Phil.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, will do.
And the way to get to his podcast is just simply go to whatonearthishappening.com. You've been to the website and just click on podcasts, and I'll send you the number. I think it was 231 or 2, but I'll find out from Rochelle for sure. Thank you. Estella, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So I'm gonna make some connection of dots, right? Because we've been working in our way of thinking, right? The way how we think, how we feel, and interaction with the outside. and the interaction within inside. And at the same time, you have your observation of all these things. And the mind usually, the mind is like have different layers or levels. Let's say like a sky riser, you have floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when it's in terms of shadow work, I think the most important is to recognize the self-love and be gentle with yourself. And when I say that, is because you're going to go through a tunnel of emotions, information, but the most important is the elevation of the soul, because we are not this body. We are this energetic, vibrational, infinite wave of light, sound, of force, life force, whatever you guys identify, because that is infinite. And at one point chose to come here to experience something. So when we do shadow work, you're dealing with intense stuff. But if you're not gentle and brave, because you're gonna find or know thyself, know yourself. And there is no right and no wrong. It's the experience, what you learn from that, what you got from that. Even if you don't feel happy about the way you experience that, there is something there that is very valuable. And unfortunately, we learn to focus on the negative. When you do shadow work, you focus on the positive. And you thank everybody in that experience because they help you to understand that incredible lesson that makes you stronger, that brought you on a wider spectrum of understanding. And by thanking, because it's a part of you that's showing as a reflection mirror of things that you have to rebalance. So this is the magic. When you say that thank you to be able to understand all that, releasing with love, and because you no longer need to carry that backpack, you let it go. Because what you're doing is you're releasing something to bring the next level, the new stuff. And because you elevate and you learn so much, we don't go back to the same stuff because you already learned it. Unless you weren't aware, you keep repeating the same mistake, and you're gonna until you wake up and say, "Why is this happening to me?" Well, it's because you're not being aware. You're working like a robot with like a common task every morning, and you don't see it. And you put in input of emotions, thoughts, actions, words, and all that's energy. Throw into the universe, and the universe send it back to you, and you don't see it. So that's what keeps happening. So that's my message. It takes a little bit of the consistency and be able to know the emotional is the triggers, and I'm not the best one. I know in the group there are people that are much calmer and much self-control, and that's, if you're able to have that, is fantastic, because you're able to experience, feel it, think it, identify it, not react. And when you want to say voila, when you say voila, that thing is released because you understood what you're supposed to see. So no fear is a good thing. It's wanting to move on and elevate the soul and free ourselves from all these backpacks, I call it, And especially with very, personal, losing people you love, there also there is a two-way, because the two parts, there is a learning lesson or something, you'd have to discover, but we are infinite, and love is how you call it, eternal. That's the word. So like even say like, okay, we are here now as a family, and then you go to the next mission and everybody's going to take a different train. It's hard to accept, but that's what is this, how is the soul is, because they love to learn and grow. And the big school is illumination, going to the highest level to become like a star, like a sun. And I just want to share that. And okay, something important. So we're learning about the mind, the word, the command, how we say things. And I listened to this lady, Eisenhower, with Rodriguez, and the guy, what is this? The guy is from the UK, that he was banned from London. What's
David Icke?
Yes, it was today. And he talked about the meaning of the mask and this distancing and, the virus, and actually why they're doing this. And it was fantastic because he mentioned a woman in the UK that is specialized in psychology, and she was one of the first to decree that the masks have to be mandatory. So, and he was mentioned that that's a way of, starting to modify, the brain, the human natural behavior, because we are, we love connection, right? So the distancing is a way of starting to program a new, the part of the agenda that they want to create control and dehumanization and, the technocratic new millennial society, which is not going to happen because we're going to win. But that was like beautifully, and what we're doing right now is important. It's so important. This work is like, I think is the way how we're gonna completely transform this. And I want to thank you, because the day I left the other group, I was learning about quantum mechanics, and I wasn't expecting the radical change we did as a group. And exactly what we're doing is what I was looking for. The essence of being human, or what would be the generation of the birth of the new human, which is, being conscious, super conscious, with a super mind, and in collaborative ways, and I think that this is very powerful, and you guys are amazing. That's it.
Thank you, Estella.
Thank you, Estella. That was good. And I'm glad you brought up masks. I have to tell you, I'm back in kindergarten now, and I had this inspiration to make my own masks, and I found some construction paper, and I made a heart, and it said, well, I didn't quite, this is a prototype. It's going to be construction paper. It's a nice heart. This one's pink. It could be yellow, brown, black, construction paper. Comes in all colors. So I've got, since you asked on this, since they asked us, or actually require us to have masks, so then I stapled some ribbon on it, and I could fit it over and wear my heart on my face. So I now can have a variety of little, this is my prototype. So you artists there, any little suggestions for little stick-ons or little fun things I could do. I'm back in kindergarten, since they're doing this juvenile thing with the masks. I figured, hey, I can reach that level just as quick as anybody.
I will put the heart and I say, my voice is my command.
Yes, my voice is my yes. Yeah, that will work. We can say anything you want. And what's that movie, The Princess Bride? We could put "As You Wish" on there. Could all of that. You could put teeth, smiles. You could put goofy eyes. I mean, you could do anything you want. It could be a lot of fun. But enough about my kindergarten project. Jeannie has her hand raised.
Okay.
Hi, Gene.
Hi. How you doing? Well, I just in passing wanted to say that I never go out with a mask without a sign on it. I have a sign on my current sign is "The media is lying." And I wear that whenever I go to a store because they won't let you in without it. So if and some people say, "Hey, I like your mask," and I said, "Yes." Well, I figure, if I'm being forced to wear this, I might as well say what I want to say, express myself. So that's why I'm doing it. So that's what I do. And the only other thing I wanted to say was I just want to say thank you for being here, because I feel really grateful right now for this group, because it is so hard right now. It's been like a roller coaster, 1 minute, something good's happening, and then the next minute something else horrible is happening, and it's like up and down, like all week that happens with me. And I'm sure with you guys, you have some reality probably on that. And it's just good to know that there's a good positive group here. I mean, I don't even know if I even have any friends left, because most of them were Democrats. And I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. I never even thought of parties before, because I'm not either one or the other. But it just seems that most of them are like on the left, and they don't tolerate any other views but their own. So, I'm very, I don't know who's a friend anymore. And I'm kind of, it's very disturbing. And so I'm really grateful for you guys being here. Just for the sanity of it, and that's just all I want to do is spread the sanity. So
Definitely. That's
Thank
for
you, Jean.
sure. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, Vicki. Vicki, you have to unmute.
How is it now?
Gotcha.
Okay. So I just want to add something to the mask thing. I do go out, and I go out to eat too, and I go for walks and stuff, and I find I don't wear masks, and I forget about it. I don't bring one, and then I pull my shirt up over my nose just to go, like, because then you get to sit and then you go take it back off. It's really stupid. Well, I do it just for a second, and that's it. And it's just, I'm just can't believe that people are still doing this. It blows me away.
I never wear one unless I don't wear one outside, only if I'm forced to wear one to go in the store. That's all.
Right. Yeah. And I think they're trying to push, like, they're going to start fining people $1,000. And it's like, well, I'm going to be walking away and probably, have to be brutalized or something, because it's like, I'm not going to deal with that. And after I talked to Jim today, I'm not going to do the census thing either. Well, George is the one that was doing it, but we're not going to do it. We're just not going to answer the door. So I'm not going to be part of it. And I too appreciate this group, because you guys are all, you're great. And we can all share, and we're of like minds, so to speak, as far as like, well, maybe we all have our own personalities, but we still love the same goal, and we love the same thing as far as where this is all going and what we can create. So I'm just really grateful and appreciative of all of you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Vicki. And yes, we all need to start using that sacred word, no.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody
do not consent.
might have seen that post.
No.
That was from Mark Passio's group. I put it on MeWe. also.
Oh, I missed it.
The use of the sacred word no.
Yep.
It's been lost. Isn't that interesting?
You know, I think this leftist thing has become a religion. And if you're not part of their religion, you're going to burn in hell. I mean, if you're a Republican or you like Trump or whatever, it's a burn in hell. It's become like a religion. Well, there's a face, a name I haven't seen lately. Hey, Jim, check it out.
I saw him come on. Why don't we hear from Jacob? He just got back into town. Where you been there, buddy?
Oh, growing my beard out, you know. I went up to Northern California, go check out a few farms and things, and meet up with a few people up there, and decided that kind of made me come back down here and say hi for a little bit and reassociate. I was up in the mountains where I had no internet. Now we were living on generators and like out of streams and stuff, so it was a fun experience though, and I thought I was going to have more internet, so I didn't. That was another reason why I basically came back here, but miss y'all a whole lot, and glad to be back. Know quite a few things have correlated since I've been on here on the norm, but yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to y'all, and yeah, I'm just getting in tune with some of this, what y'all think of this whole COVID thing, and what, I don't know. I've been putting out videos. There's this doctor. This thing is like, the COVID thing for me is pretty much a done deal. I don't know. I put out a video to Jim here. I sit here, and a few other people, and it's intelligence and the whole conscious movement too is like we have a great tools at our disposal here, and being able to use Zoom calls and then getting people together and everything, it's been pretty cool. I don't know if I don't have any kids, but I guess they've been doing Zoom calls even on teaching and stuff like that on the internet, and at the same time it's kind of getting people together, so it's I'm kind of digging it, so. But yeah, I was missing my group here, and I'm glad to be back, so good to see y'all. I'll chime in when I can.
Thanks,
Jacob. Let me ask you. So you've been up in the mountains, no internet, and so obviously you really haven't even been informed on this whole COVID situation, correct?
I've been able to, like, when I rented, I got poison oak twice, so when I got going to the hospital, I was able to catch up a little bit on the internet. But yeah, no, they had people down post that I know about the up there in Oregon, the rioting that's been going on. They finally shut it down. I just recently saw Honorable Chief Justice Barr a little bit on the news last night, what he's coming back with, and kind of how the politics. It's really crazy. This Democratic thing and how they're going after this Democratic Republican thing. First off, is kind of funny. Anyways, we're a republic before we even have Republicans or Democrats, and people need to figure out that part. And it's interesting. It's almost like the Democrats are like the new Nazis, in my opinion. Like the idiots just want to start shit whenever and wherever they can. That's what it looks like to me, and anyone else that sees otherwise. I mean, I guess they're open to their opinion. That's just what I'm seeing. And I've gotten other things from that. That's kind of is what's going on as far as wherever you can get anarchy or rebellion, and that's why they're supporting them and like kind of doing all that kind of stuff. It's just an interesting something I saw last night on the news. My parents were watching some CNN. But that's pretty much what I know about it. And the whole COVID thing is that, it's getting to the point of getting people agitated. And I mean, last time I was on here, we were talking about, doing proper food and foodstuffs and stuff and things of that sort. It's kind of, I don't know, it's getting interesting amongst everything else. But yeah. That's pretty much where I'm at. I know about the rioting. I know that there's black, put it like this, dude. I was just talking about, I have some very, very, very intelligent couple of black friends, okay? And they do not teach this Black Lives Matter. They're all against it. Like, Jake, what the hell are you? I mean, we need you, bro. Like all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of like, what the hell is really going on with all that? And you see a lot of, when you get the Black Lives Matter rioting and protesting, you'll see a lot of Britons, a lot of interesting, it's a lot of provocateurs, basically. You know what I mean? It's kind of some of the stuff that I've been getting. Not all of them, but it's just why it's dismay and mayhem. It seems wherever they can on any kind of political front. And it's something that's we all got to keep our heads wrapped around and just do us. And the more and more I see them doing that stuff, I'm glad we have some hardcore anarchists or whatever trying to push things down or keep bring a message out or whatever, or fight back these provocateurs. But that's what's really going to take is not this mayhem stuff, is intelligent, dissecting and dismantling. And it's I don't know. It's been crazy. Some of the stuff that the updates I haven't get. That's all I can say on that one. Some of the things. But at the same time, it's good to see people get together, and I'm seeing a lot more people getting out and walking, being in the parks, being together, doing a family thing. Even with no churches, schools cut down, all that kind of stuff. So in certain ways, I see it as a good thing, as long as people can keep self-educating and keep up with the Benjis, so to speak, if you will. And that's all it takes. So. That's at least from my point of view. Aside from getting poison oak everywhere, it was so horrible. My goodness, guys. Poison oak is no joke. That is a plant that the dark side had a hand in making with Mother Nature. I promise you that. I don't know how many there are. That was one of them. But yeah, the whole COVID thing. It's a test of character and conscience. Is kind of what I'm seeing. And I think we're doing all right with it, as long as we get the assholes up top that want to keep freaking messing things up and really keep setting up. Have you guys heard of, even in the rioting, some of the riots, people there's stacks of bricks being put up and frozen bottles being thrown, all that. And it's really kind of, I don't know. Some of the stuff's real funny when you start looking at what's really going in and research and stuff, So. Yeah, see, we got some new faces on here too.
Yeah.
Quite. I'm just keeping up with it. I mean, it's amazing how many more people you got joined up with it, Jim. Phyllis, you guys are doing good.
If you haven't followed all the other shows, you ain't heard nothing yet. Okay, I got person with her hand up. I think that's Maya, isn't it? Maya?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Maya.
You have to unmute, Maya.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to just take off the video just because it's easier to speak. Okay. So my question is this. I'm not going to go through COVID because I have my own opinion yet, and it's crazy. But I am working for a school district, and I worked through COVID since March 16 and doing meals for the family. And of course, as a government, a school district, I had to wear the mask for 8 hours in a row. And whatever, okay, it's not much protection to the food anyway, because it doesn't have, actually, it's even worse. How you guys suggest, have any idea how can I I say fighting, but, how to express and try not to wear whatever it is these things during work, or try to initiate something because this is crazy. It's not okay. It doesn't give you protection anyway. So in a government situation, as working in student nutrition for a school district, I have to wear the mask. We need to do this health screening on the phone, or that I actually I don't like it at all. It is actually ridiculous from my point of view. But I am a very well. I'm in the food industry forever, and I'm very cautious when I prepare food for people. I'm all organic, I'm a clean person and dye and everything. But while you guys have any suggestion, maybe there's some resources out there that I didn't check yet, so forgive me for that. But I'm going to start working back on August 10th, and at 6:30, I will need to present myself at work with my mask, and they point me the gun on my forehead. That is going to be a thermometer, but I feel like a gun. to measure my temperature is I feel like shut your mouth. Otherwise, I shoot you in the forehead and go to work. So this is kind of the feeling that I have. Any suggestion, please?
Okay,
I saw-
Maya, Pam J has a suggestion she put here in chat. She says, check out Peggy Hall.
You're breaking up really bad, Phil.
I am?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Feedback.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe move away from your mic a little bit.
Oh,
I
sorry.
am quite a bit.
Go ahead.
Wait, is it Maya or is it me?
I'm not sure.
I don't need it. Anyway, Maya, Pam J is saying that check out Peggy Hall. She's the healthyamerican.org. She has lots of good info for unmasking the stupid mask orders. So Peggy Hall, yeah, she's an advocate for fighting this whole ridiculous game they're playing.
Yeah.
So,
I've been posting a lot of her stuff. That's one courageous woman right there. You know, and I think it was her that also posted for you, Maya. You have to get creative on this, you know, and decide what's comfortable for you and how you can beat them at their own game at the same time. I think it was her that posted today, actually, a card that people can print out and kind of make business cards that specifically says you have a medical reason for not wearing a mask. You know, whether you do or not, they can't challenge you. And they can't stop you from going into a store or I'll see if I can find it. I saw it today on a post, and I can shoot it over to you. But like I said, these things, just like Phyllis just showed, that paper mask that she made of a heart, you know, which isn't interrupting her breathing capacity in any way. And she's sending a message at the same time. So that's kind of, I think, what we all need to do is, you know, get creative and at the same time challenge them every step of the way. You know, just my opinion. I see there's a lot of hands raised. Go ahead, Phyllis.
yeah. Okay, Stella is next.
I understand the job is very important, the one you're doing. And I noticed those, you know, the welders used to have, you know, protect their eyes with like acrylic, you know, mask, you know, protects your eyes. And I think that probably could be a good choice because it's not obstructing. And just also to protect yourself, I use, you know, like essential oils. So in your clothes and the neck, you know, you can put essential oils. So you're going to be, you know, elevating your frequency in your body. That protects you. And also the essential oils is in the air. So it's acting, you know, whatever is flying around is not going to be, it's going to be weaker, right? So I use like rosemary essential oil or frankincense or lavender. And the other thing I heard, and this supposed to be, it's not said publicly, but the FDA has forbidden a lot of sanitizers because they have alcohol or some kind of chemicals that's toxic. And what they were saying yesterday, listening, or, you know, like an organic doctor, you know, the more natural. The best thing to do is wash your hands with a good, you know, soap and to, you know, keep yourself sanitized. I mean, I think it's important to protect yourself at the same time. No, I mean, I think the mask is terrible, but try to make your day a nice day and try to, you know what I mean. But, I want you to be protected too. And I think a clear screen so the speed of people or, it doesn't reach your face anyway. It's not a mask is blocking your mouth. People can see you, you can smile, you can function in the right way, and the essential oils are protecting you. So I think that's a good way to, do a work is a lot of hours. With the fabric mask, if you don't change the mask, you start to accumulate, stuff in the fabric, which is not healthy unless you have, 2 masks for the morning and 2 masks for the afternoon, and then you wash it in the nighttime to have the next day. But that's the other option if you like the fabric mask. But I prefer the clear screen because you show in your face, you're happy and nothing's gonna stop you. You full rolling, And so anyway, that's it.
Thanks, Estella. Someone posted, I'm glad you mentioned using soap rather than sanitizers, Estella. Someone posted that, and I've read this before, 90% of the sanitizers that they're using, like say you walk into Trader Joe's, there's always some clown standing there with a bottle. I just walk by and laugh, and just keep going. But 90% of those sanitizers are methanol based and not good for you at all. So
yeah, they said people got really sick from that, and I think there were some people allergic and they died because they didn't know it was the methanol, that substance.
You're better off making your own, and there are recipes all over the internet on how to make your own. Hey, just buy some cheap vodka and use some glycerin and some tea tree oil or whatever, or the scent of your choice.
Well, I bought these little sprays, you can buy at CVS for $1, a little bottle. So I add essential oils there. And when I go to the stores, I spray myself, my clothes, everything. I smell like rosemary. And then I take gloves. But the whole point is to protect myself. And the mask just to comply in and out, and that's it. But I'm not going to wear it the whole day.
That's getting creative.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeannie.
Yeah, I just wanted to read this because my sister sent me a text today because we compare notes. She lives in upstate New York, and she tells me what's going on there, and I tell her what's going on here. And about regarding the masks, she says, update, I tried something different today. I entered a store, and the cashier said I can't come in without a mask. Then I quietly said, I have a medical exemption. She said, okay, didn't even let me finish my sentence. And I was allowed in to shop. Regarding the exemption cards, though, I don't know which one she's talking about, but she says they are not real, but the Americans for Disability Act is very real. So she says, I have reported 2 stores to them. So I think what's happening is that if you tell a store owner that you have a medical exemption, they cannot keep you out, or you can report them. You never have to say what it is. It's never their business. Just food for thought right there. So.
Yes, Jeannie, that's the card I saw, and it had that American. What'd you say? American Disability.
Yeah.
That's the ADA.
Americans.
ADA. That's the logo that was on that card that I saw.
Maybe
I'll find it and I'll post it on the pages tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
thank you. Tina.
Hi, Tina.
Hello, everybody. I haven't had to wear a mask yet. I shop at one of about 4 stores, but now Sprouts changed. And what I tell them when I go to the door is I have a medical condition that prohibits me from wearing a mask. And usually by the time I get to medical condition, they're like, oh, okay, come in. But Sprouts now just recently changed their policy where you can't go in even if you have a medical condition. And that's one of Peggy Hall's videos, is her calling Sprouts, and I love it because I've been doing that too. Sprouts, Costco, the other stores that I go to that are now not allowing you to go in whether you have a medical condition or not. So unfortunately, I had to break down and buy a shield because I'm not wearing a mask. I haven't had to wear it yet, but I do need to go to the store tomorrow. So I'm going to be writing a little message across the top of it before I put it on.
Where did you get this shield? Is that the plastic? It's like a little...
yeah, it's just like a plastic annoying shield that you put over your head. But at least it just covers. It's not like a mask where it's completely on your face. But I also have a friend who sews that's making me a plague doctor's mask too out of cloth.
You can get them at CVS, and you can get 5 of them for $20.
Oh.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can get those shields at CVS, 5 for $20.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, that was it for you, Tina, for now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really worn it yet, but it's better than wearing the mask over your face.
Yeah, probably true. Okay, Vicki.
Thanks, Tina.
Yeah, the ADA card that you're talking about, I have it all printed out. I have like 25 copies. And the deal with that is you can say that all you want, that you have the condition. I got the note from the doctor, the whole yada, yada. The thing is like each store you go to and you say, okay, I have this condition, and they say, no, you can't come in anyways. They don't care. The ADA, that is an issue with them, but you give them that whole paper. It's an 8x10 paper besides a card. And you say, you're refusing, sign this for me. They refuse to sign. And that's like, the next step would be to file a complaint with the ADA if you want to go that far with each store that you frequent. And it's just more red tape because I haven't had to do that yet because I won't go to those stores because I don't want to deal with it. Because otherwise you got to stand your ground if they don't want to sign the paper because you're putting them on notice. And then that's, say Trader Joe's, you're putting them on notice, and then you file that with the ADA. Because I am a disabled person, whatever, I have the plate and the whole 9 yards. But the thing is they need to sign it and they won't. So what Peggy's saying sounds all good, but when you're in the action and doing it, a lot of these stores, they won't sign it. You go to the manager and they go, I'm not signing this. And it's like, well, this is my right. You're going against the American Disabilities Act, and I need to file this claim on you. And you got to go from there. You don't just flash a card. Some of them might let you in, but a lot of them won't. So they're not making it easy.
Get their name and just tell them, expect a lien to be put on all of your property. Personal lien.
Personal lien. Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to sue the store. Sue the individual by slapping a lien on the individual's name. File a lien on that individual. See how fast they change their attitude. And you can file a lien on anyone.
Wow.
At any time. Right, Jacob?
Yeah, you sparked my interest there. You know that. What's happening?
Can I?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So yesterday when I listened to this guy, they were telling each state what the governors, they were passing bills like, obligatory masks. But the interesting thing that in each of the democratic states, even California, they were exempt, like the judges and certain groups and within the government, so they are not obligated to use masks. So what the point was this guy was saying is, the agenda, and regarding ADA start because people start to they have lawsuit against, not recognizing the disabilities in each building. So today you have to comply in every building with ADA. And if anybody gets hurt inside a building and you have disability, it's a big deal. So that's very powerful. I have to say that when they tell you you cannot come in because and you have your ADA paper, and you can have a second copy like saying, I'm not recognizing the ADA. You say, please sign here, put the date and the name of your store. I just need to prove that, I have these disability rights and you're not seeing me. And it's a discrimination act.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
So you have to say the correct words. You're discriminating against me. The government has a law where allows me to, have an exemption, but then you are following the rules from the government also, which is mandatory, but I'm exempt. So we are both right. So I'm an exemption and you have to take it. Otherwise, sign the paper and stand like that, nicely. And they say, both we are right, but I'm exempt to your mandate obligation. So I'm correct with the law. I'm sorry, but this is the truth. And I have right to buy groceries. Otherwise, you're discriminating, and please sign here because I'm going to submit this because I have my rights. I know I'm following the rules. And you play with the same money, but nicely. Sorry, maybe you have a confusion, but I'm following the rules. I have an exception. You have to present it from the law like you're following the rules. You're exempted because this medical condition. You're not being a troublemaker. You're using your rights. Sorry, but I have this disability.
Well, you say it very well, Estela. Can I bring you with me next time?
That's the wisdom, like the people, like usually the old ladies, they're all nice and calm. I'm an Italian troublemaker, I have to tell you. But
don't get it, girl.
Yeah, I'm trouble. If you see my tweets, they're really trouble. But I didn't know even I tweet to Newsom and Briggs. And I said, I'm the new human. My body is my choice. And I didn't know I was tweeting to them. That was when they put the mandatory, and then they said, why other people in other countries, they follow the rules and here in California, nobody follows. And I said, because we are the new humans, I answered. Okay, anyway. But
I wish that was true, that everybody would ignore this stuff. Maybe they would get some sense about the whole thing.
The secret is the emotional body. If you say the truth kindly, with love, they cannot react in a bad way. So you have to empower, you being with love, you tell the truth, and you're following the rules. You're not lying. You're standing in the truth. They cannot treat you bad. And you say, please, could you sign here if you don't recognize my ADA, exempt? Thank you. And then you go away. Sorry, but I have to do this because I'm following the rule and you don't see me. Okay. Because the problem right now, they're trying to create the emotional reaction like the, Seattle and all that. And now you see what they're saying. they blame Trump, but they are the ones creating the problem to create distraction. So I think the secret is the master of the emotions with the thought and standing in the truth. Nobody can move you. You're like a solid wall there.
Right
Because
on.
you're not misbehaving, you're being respectful, you're being kind.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stella. I'm going to call on Pam J now. Go ahead, Pam.
I I ran into a couple of goons. They're young men at Sprouts recently, and they said there was some sort of ordinance that we couldn't go in without a mask. So I just turned around and I walked across the street to Ralph's, and no problem.
But what I learned, ordinance, they are not laws, mandatories.
Uh-huh.
Just like
And
Thank
statutes,
you.
code, all that.
Where
right.
do you live? Where do you live?
So,
over there?
but this all
Yeah.
depends how you feel yourself. You probably did the right thing because you didn't want to confront. But if you feel strong, you could, say the truth, but not create a you know what I mean? A violent distress. Just go in with love and say the truth, and you're going to feel good because you said it. Just saying the truth with love. Don't forget, love is the most stronger force in this planet.
True.
Yeah, for
So-
Vicky, you have to stand your ground on this one, and you're absolutely right. Discrimination is unlawful, or excuse me, discrimination is lawful, and wearing of masks is a mandate. It's not lawful. Never has been from the beginning. It's just these criminal governors and mayors of these cities and towns that are enacting these so-called mandates. They're not lawful. Only Congress can enact law in the United States. I didn't say America, United States. Only Congress can enact laws. Governors and mayors cannot. The only reason they get away with it is because the media pushes it and people watch, television, same thing. It's just like when I talked to Phyllis, a cartoon came my way of two Amish guys standing talking together, and one Amish guy says to the other one, "Hey, how come this COVID thing doesn't affect us?" And the other guy says, "Because we don't have televisions."
Yeah, I never see it.
It's
That's
that
exactly right.
simple.
That's funny.
It's that simple.
That's really funny. But this is short. My brother-in-law, he's homeless, right? For choice, and he goes in and out from the street. And he came to the house on July 4th. He didn't know what was going on because he doesn't have a phone, doesn't have TV. And it was funny because he couldn't believe it. He woke up to this pandemic on July 4th.
Okay, so should we move on to our second hour?
Fine with me, because I had a question for it. So
Okay, for Jacob's sake, who just came back, we've made a lot of changes, like you were saying. You noticed. Yes, we were focused when you left on your trip. We were at that time focused on eco-villages, farms, businesses, and the like. Since then, we've come to the understanding, by way of some information that I'll send you in the morning.
Okay.
And most everyone has gotten into this information, if not completed it. And it has to do with using the law of attraction to not only put out counter intentions, but also to put out our personal and group intentions. So we call this second hour our group mind call. And it's all about, last week we chose a chief aim on what we need to focus on at this present time. In other words, what's the first thing in front of us that we need to accomplish before we can move on to those other, or move back to those other things that we were focused on earlier. And we all came to the conclusion that the most important thing we need to focus on presently is our own personal and group and statewide sovereignty. And that's the chief aim that we decided on. And at the same time, the information that I'm going to send you will explain how to activate this intention and focus on it all day, most of the day, all the time, as much as you can, and for the purpose of manifesting personal and collective sovereignty for ourselves and our state. So are you familiar with some of this information?
Yes. We got to be careful with some of the sovereignty stuff. I'm getting into the stuff where, like, even Abraham Lincoln, and when he was a lawyer, some of his lawyer documents with Dungy and stuff like that, the sovereignty thing is definitely, like, mentally the way you need to go and be, like, independent beings. It's a great word, verbiage. It goes a little deeper than that, but yeah, I'm definitely familiar with the whole sovereignty thing. Writing, when you sign your name on any government.
Yeah, we're not getting, I don't mean to cut you off. We're not getting into any of we're not joining any sovereignty groups, or, we're not getting into any of the sovereignty information you're talking about, such as.
It's a great term. Yes.
Yeah. No, we're using that as our chief aim intention. We're putting that out as an intention and you can add to it. Others like Rochelle uses the intention of restoring sovereignty for our state and ourselves. Others last week mentioned other intentions that came under the umbrella of sovereignty, such as no more masks. But we needed to keep it in a positive sense. So that's why we chose the word sovereignty, because it incorporates just about everything that we discussed last week. So you might want to catch up on, I sent you the recording from last week, and that pretty much explains it all. And at the same time, I'll send you like I said, the information that we've all been listening to, which will give you the tools and the techniques to utilize in order to make this manifest quickly, easily, and effortlessly. So with that said,
sounds good to me.
We can move on to our group mind session. And does anybody want to speak about anything that came up this week while you were putting out your intention on sovereignty?
Yes, and then I'm going to mention something, and then Stella's next. We have a lot of creative people. We got Sean, who's into the graphics thing, and Philip, who has a lot of experience with, I guess, the graphics field or even beyond that, I'm not sure. But anyway, we have a lot of creative people. I don't see Angela here tonight, but she also is one of them. And I was wondering, because, you know, they're talking about, Kevin Trudeau's talking about, and Law of Attraction is talking about vision board. And I'm thinking, as big a topic as restore sovereignty is, we might need some visual aids. So, Sean, I'm thinking, is there something we could put together? You did that wonderful little cartoon thing that you showed us. I was just wondering, what, Jim, when you said, what does sovereignty look like? What does it feel like to you? What does it mean? What do you think about some visual aids for that, Sean? I mean, I don't know.
Can I add on that one quick?
Oh, go ahead, Stella.
The sovereignty we talk is about is being human. You're happy, maybe you want to dance, but now with distances, if someone is dancing or being kind of goofy or playing the guitar or doing something, it looks like odd when, you know, with mask it's all gloomy, right? So for me, sovereignty is you follow your heart. You want to sing, you sing. You want to say no, you say no. As long as it's respectful and, you know, within the, you know, ethicals of, you know, change the harmony, but you're just expressing yourself. That's sovereignty for me. So
like a great definition, yeah.
Very good, Estella. Yes. If you want sovereignty, you need to be sovereign. Simple as that. You don't have to file anything. You don't have to register for sovereignty. But you just have to be sovereign and live it. Live as a sovereign person.
And I want to add something. I said earlier, we are like a sun. When you go through the elevation of the soul, you become like a sun. The power of life, create lives in planets. Okay, so now they want to do vaccines and they want to hook you mind in a machine and you're no longer human and you're no longer thinking in your own. You're not experiencing being human as individuality because we know we have also totality, the universe. It's like an ocean of cells, right? Souls swimming in the ocean of life. Well, this is individuality where you can become the tenor singing opera in Rome and be great, you know, great singer because that was your desire. Or painting the mask, you know, like Phyllis, she's happy doing that because that's what she's want to do. And today I talked like an hour with this insurance person and he started giving me the negative of when a young kid, my 19-year-old, you know, needs insurance for start driving. And he started to tell me all the negative about the young kids. And I stopped him and said, you know what? You really cursing young people. You treated them like they're not capable and they are high risk. Maybe they're better than us. Why are you gonna speculate that? And this is how society works. The statistics, the data, the labels. If you're a really sovereign person, you don't know what you're going to be doing the next minute. You don't follow the plan. You just follow your heart. You know? Sorry.
Bingo.
No, that's all right. Whoa. Is this something you're sharing the screen there, Jim?
I don't know. I put this on there. I wanted to put it just on the share section. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was going to say,
That's
how
okay.
did you do that?
Remember,
that
Phyllis,
was cool, but how did you do it?
Remember, Phyllis, I told you I activated the share screen for everyone?
Oh, I forgot. Yes, you did say that. Was that last week?
Jacob just figured it out by himself.
Oh, this is going to get dangerous. Okay, I just said we need some visual aids. Boy, I think this is going to get dangerous. But see, here's the idea. The whole idea is we're doing it for ourselves individually, our sovereignty. We respect our own sovereignty, et cetera, and we expect that. But I'm thinking about we're supposed to be intending it for everybody in California. This is a state project, right, Jim? I mean, is that what we're...
Yes.
Okay, well, that's why I was asking Sean, can you think of anything as a visual aid to keep it in our minds, the visualizing everybody in California in sovereignty?
Yeah, I think that's a great
Sovereignty
idea.
restored?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, I'm really pretty vapid with ideas. I don't really, I'm not very, I mean, I can try to think of something.
Put Pink Floyd and these rabbits with masks walking.
And then throwing the masks away.
Yeah, and then start to, doing all surfing on the beach with throwing the mask and,
everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's maybe something that it doesn't even need to have anything to do with that.
The great
yeah, I have an idea.
If we focus on it at all, I feel like I'm giving it power just by mentioning it.
Just people without masks.
Just get creative, Sean.
Yeah.
You know you can do this.
You can do it or collaborate with Angela.
Proved it to us. Have no doubt. You can do it.
Have no doubt whatsoever. You'll find a lot more quarters.
Maybe the mouse
have an idea.
The mouse escaped the mask. You have a person or a rabbit with the mouse. The mouse, the teeth and the lips, they come out and they smile into people. It doesn't want to be the mouse behind the mask.
I actually have an idea.
I like that. That's cute.
I have an idea. Can you guys hear me? No?
Yeah, yes. Rochelle, go ahead. You're next.
Yeah, I have an idea. Sovereign, I always broke that word down. So I reign. Sovereign. And so I reign over my life. And I always have a picture of myself sitting on my frickin' throne, the way I want to dress the throne up, whichever way it can be. And I see the minions coming in with this idea, or you must do this, or you must do that. And I go, nope. And you're dismissed from my court. No, you're dismissed from my court. Yes, absolutely. I will do that. Yes. And so I am reigning. So that's the picture I have for me.
And so we can picture that for everybody. Yep. But
see, so Jacob, we're using this as if it were an affirmation.
Yeah.
Okay. And Phyllis mentioned that to me this week. She came up with an affirmation and she didn't know where it came from. So she contacted me, and it's every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better and better. I'm sure many of you have already heard this. I answered to her and said, oh, that's from a John Lennon song called Beautiful Boy. And then Phyllis did some more research, and she found out it was from a gentleman from
Emil Coué, yeah.
Yes, yes. And as you all know, John Lennon was an intellectual, avid reader. And so he just obviously took that from Emil and incorporated it into one of his songs. But it is a fantastic affirmation. And that's what we're doing here on this group mind call. We're putting out an affirmation in a general sense or a specific sense. Like in my case, I use sovereignty every day, and I say, for my personal sovereignty over my body, my mind, and my experience, now and forever. And like I said, everyone can put their own intention attached to sovereignty, the way they see it, the way they feel sovereignty should be and how sovereignty should look. Does that make any sense?
Oh, yeah. That's
good.
Okay.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Did you want to show us something, Jacob? Did you want to share something with us? On the screen?
Okay, so I went up to share here, and I went in the URL. I'm doing it again. So this is something I've learned real here. Like, you want to go into sovereignty. This is kind of a movement, and it starts with your ID and we're really getting into, this is specifically mentioned identification documents that everyone can do and get you. And I want you just to read you can read all of this, you guys. You know what I mean? A, B, C. These are the three different types of identity. You have to read the top paragraph. Section 1028 of Title 18 designates 3 special non-federal identification documents and gives them preferred treatment. These 3 documents, in the absence of a national identity card. What's that? Are prime means by which individual establishes identity in the United States. This is a huge legal thing. I'm like kind of like a little bit on the. I got back with my legal buddy. This guy's breaking down doors. Okay, you guys. But like, if we want to get into the sovereign thing, there is a movement going on. There's a way you can do with your identification. Like even Estella says that these guys are doing it through intelligence, talking respectfully, and not starting shit anywhere and everywhere they can go. A lot unlike the anarchist, there has to be a polar opposite to this. And this is the polar opposite to the anarchists. And the movement and kind of stuff.
But
it's kind of.
But what you need to understand is, since you're born, you became a role because labels. And this simple exercise of sovereignty, you're starting to think different and breaking the program of roles and labels that you've been using through your life. And by breaking the way of thinking in the old way and finding new ways, you're recreating yourself who you are. Because before they told your mama, your dada, your aunt, the teacher, they told you this is the right way. But now with this exercise, you finding what sounds right for you.
Yes.
Right.
And that's what God gave you, the free will to come and experience life on earth as a human. And that's the beauty of the experience, because you're discovering a new way how you feel about it. And it's right. It sounds correct for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, without, how you say, you don't invade other people. You're just being polite, and you just use your voice. And the person can say, I agree or I disagree. And you're fine, because you're fine with your ways, and you're not bothering anybody. And that's what we standing for. It's my choice.
Yes.
Right.
And if in the future a paperwork or something comes from this movement, it's going to be naturally. If we go through those papers, we are fighting the river. We're going against the river, when in reality, once the river flows in a natural way, it's unstoppable.
Just by being and acting sovereign.
Yeah.
For me, personally, it evolved into, I've mentioned on this call many times, I don't have a driver's license. I refuse to register for anything. So I don't have a driver's license. And I haven't driven a vehicle. I have, but I haven't had a license. I don't own a vehicle, because I know that I would have to register it, and I refuse to register anything. And if you register something, you don't own it. You know, who owns it? People think they own their homes. If they have a mortgage on it, you don't own that home. The bank owns it. If you register your vehicle, you don't own your vehicle. The state owns it. Whose name's on the license plate? Whose name's on the registration? Department of Motor Vehicles. They own it. You don't own it. See what I'm saying? So as time went on, I don't have identification, because I refuse to identify myself. I refuse to register for anything. And people go, well, what if you get stopped and they ask you for your identification? I just said it to Vicky today. Anybody knocks on my door or asks me anything, I just go, what evidence do you have that anybody by that name lives here? They'll just look at you.
That's
They'll
a
just
great
look.
neutralizer.
They'll just look at you dumbfounded, like People are always saying, well, what if they come knocking on your door and they're going to serve you with papers? Da-da-da, you know? What evidence do you have that anybody by that name lives here? Simple as that. They'll walk away with their head between their tail between their legs, and you'll never see them again. You can't serve somebody if you don't know who they are. See what I'm saying? So, again, just by using that affirmation, which is why I said in the beginning, you don't have to file for sovereignty. You don't have to register. It's just like you don't have to file for bankruptcy. You don't have to file for foreclosure. You don't have to do any of that stuff. They want you to do that. That's how they keep people in the system. You know, you have to be smarter than them. You know, they're pretty slick, but they're not that smart. You know, and like I said, for me, affirming that over the years, total freedom, abundant wealth, and sovereignty, simple as that, over my body, my mind, and my experience. That's what it's evolved to for me. You know, I don't have, nobody bothers me. I'm not a part of that old system. You know, I choose to be a part of the new earth. I'm done. Thank you.
That's great.
Awesome.
I like that. I like that. Sounds good. Inspiring us to do different things.
You don't drive a vehicle and you don't own a house. So that's a lot easier to be incognito that way.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be incognito. I'm just being sovereign.
Yep.
Right.
I choose to be a sovereign individual. Simple as that. And because of that, like I said, over the years, they just went away. Nobody bothers me. I don't have a, well, you could say I have an address, but I don't have a mailbox. You know, I haven't received mail in 8 years. Nothing. You know, and
can I send you mine?
You can send it. It's not going to get to me.
Oh, darn. Wait, I'll have to ask Ken to do, what is it he does remote viewing to find out where you are so I can send you my mail.
I put a post on top of one of Peggy Hall's videos. You can check it out. It's on the page. And I said, I was just trying to be a little sarcastic and truthful at the same time. And I basically just said, if you register in any which way, anything, what you do is you make the state a partner in whatever it is you just registered for. In other words, people have businesses, and I see everybody's complaining. They did this, that, and the other thing. They did this to me, and look what they're doing to us. Well, unfortunately, you registered your business with the state, and they became your partner. And now look at what your partner's doing to all your businesses. Think about that. Yeah. So when you claim sovereignty, be sovereign and just live a moral, righteous existence. And there is nothing they can do to you, and nothing can hurt you. You are actually, in my opinion, you are actually protected by Source for choosing to do the right and moral way to live, way to exist.
You know, and I can verify that. I really can. There's something, like, I'm part of like another, in touch with another group in Australia, and like we're, you know, sourcing some of this stuff is really, the more you are in tune with and contact Source, or say we're putting out this sovereign thought process, then it responds to you. You have to say thank you. I'm not going to tell anyone you have to do anything. But when you show through physical action and their thought process, you literally say thank you, right? and or a way you can show thank you. If there was something looking and had all eyes on you at all time, 24/7, there's a way you can say thank you for this happening. By getting on the ground, you know what I mean, praying or doing a little meditation, put it out, say thank you, or by simply saying it, higher self, spirit, source, however you want to call it, God, thank you. We really, and when you do that, and it starts so small, but when you do that and it goes more and more and more, you actually start responding. Your source is going to start feeding you. It'll start feeding you like all these intentions or thoughts you want to get, because you're actually building a relation. How else do you build a friendship or relationship with anything if you do not show that you're either pissed off or you're happy about something? It's a high and a low. That's all it is. And so we got a bunch of people walking around here pissed off, fucking going crazy on all these fucking drugs, pharmaceuticals, and everything else. Go figure that, you know, there's a whole lot of confusion going on because, you know, y'all got power. You just got to fine tune it. You know, you sit down and spend time with yourself and or, you know, your loved one's friend talking and doing stuff like this. And then when it goes out and comes back, it's like a priming of the pump. You know what I'm saying? Once that water starts coming, it ain't gonna stop, I promise you, unless you stop. So it's like, and that's kind of like, for me, on a mechanical level of how to think and put it out, it's how it works. Just through intention and acknowledging. Make sure you acknowledge, because there is something always listening and looking and watching out. I promise.
Yes, and for all of you that have been listening to the audios, he speaks about appreciation drills every morning before you even hit the floor. What am I appreciative of? What am I thankful for? You know, but you just do that and you'll be amazed at what comes in. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. It's the law of attraction. You put out thoughts of being thankful and appreciative. What's got to come back?
More things for you to be thankful for.
That a girl.
No, that's exactly it. When you're thankful for things, it attracts more things for you to be thankful for. More
you hit
things.
it right on the head.
Yeah, that's what
Beautiful.
I've always thought about it. I actually thought about that when I first started reading things about the law of attraction years and years ago. I thought, well, that makes sense, because gratitude has a way of emphasizing what makes you feel good. The thing that made you grateful is something you feel good about, and you just get more of that feeling, and it grows. It gets stronger.
And acknowledging where it came from, too.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So probably that quarter fell out of your pocket, but you didn't know it.
I didn't believe it.
It doesn't matter where it came from or how it got there. You're going to get more.
On my night table. I was just like,
yeah.
It's just right there. Like, that's just like, weird.
Just what you needed to get the job done.
I mean, it's if anything, definitely.
Now you just need to manifest somebody else doing your laundry for you.
Yeah. And not have to pay for it every time I do it.
Yeah. You appreciate that. Unless you got a place to do your laundry, but okay, what's the next?
Well,
step?
yeah, it's like I should. Well, let's see. I should manifest more quarters. Like, wait a minute. Let's manifest me not even needing to pay for it. Like
you just made me think of something, Sean. Yeah. I don't know if people have heard of Lloyd C. Douglas and Magnificent Obsession. But there's something, and I think I even tracked it down in the Bible, but it's based on the premise of giving to people, but don't do it so that anybody knows about it. It's anonymous. When you could hand somebody on the street who's in trouble, say a $20 bill, and just say, like you've heard that pay it forward, but just say, or loan somebody some money and say, I don't want it back. Do something for somebody else, but don't tell anybody that I gave you this money. And it has a way of doing it like that without any praise for giving. It has a way of becoming an obsession, because you find that things you want in your life seem to just come to you. It is another way to raise your vibration and attract things to you. but it's actually, there's a precedent for it in the Bible. Lloyd C. Douglas was a minister, I think. He's an old, he wrote books a long time ago, wrote The Robe and several other things. Anyway, that was my little story. Now, some people, I think, haven't lowered their hand. So I don't really know, but I think Pam J's next.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Pam.
I just raised my hand, but talking about things suddenly appearing when you didn't expect them. I mean, I've had that so many times, including, with my Dodge. I donated it to the veterans, but I had to have the title to give to them. And so I was thinking, where did I put that? It's been about 16 years. And so after thinking that, the next day, I went to a file that I hadn't looked in, and there it was. And so the business was taken care of, and it's finding a new home somewhere.
Good. Yeah, it may sound like something that's just simple routine every day, but it's still those things that happen just when you need them to happen that are important to you.
Yeah.
That it just falls together. It feels good. It's going to make you feel good. And so the next thing will be something else that you need that's covered. Yeah?
Yes.
Jim, what did you get started here? Isn't this fantastic?
I think it's stuff for you look at the news program. I'm not like dogging, my dad, but he wakes up sometimes a lot of time in kind of a negative mood because he has the same routine. I'm not saying routine's bad, but he always turns on that TV, wants that news, and tell you what, before he gets, how you really kind of get busted up. And I noticed that as a young kid, right? And so ever since I got into this meditation, this whole law of attraction stuff and playing around with it, decide to go outside, just bend over and touch your toes, do a little stretch, shake out your arms or everything, but, listen to the birds, everything, and look around, say thank you. This is so cool. And then listen and, hang out for a second, go back in and do your stuff. But I don't know if it's a thing coming out and acknowledging the morning or just coming outside or something whatever. I go barefoot. I'm a big barefoot guy and grounding, you guys all know that. But, you do that, and you kind of, for me, it just kind of, sometimes I even feel like a relief, or sometimes even a boost. You know what I mean? Not nothing crazy, but just an appreciation thing. And I always say thank you. Good morning, mother, father, son, all that kind of stuff. Once you start your morning, wake up next to your loved ones, say morning, love you, all that kind of stuff. Mark up, give the life that gives us life. You know what I mean? Give them thank you. Just a little something, maybe a little, routine thing to do. I mean, I don't know, but it's something that's definitely helped me out, in throwing ways too. Throw that in there.
I want to mention something here in chat from Maya. She says, thank you, everyone. I got to go now. Thank you for your kindness. Talk to you later and enjoy every single heartbeat. Celebrating life. Bye now. I like that. Enjoy every single heartbeat, celebrating life.
Right.
Yeah, that's sovereignty, celebrating life. That's the excellent way of describe what is sovereignty, because you're celebrating life. It's beautiful.
You're celebrating your freedom, because we're free will human beings. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really a lot more simpler than I think. A lot of people put it in. A lot of people are caught up in the whole COVID anarchy, whatever. Now that Hollywood's and there's no football or baseball just came on. I think there's a lot of people on suicide watch. So they had to let baseball back on. Thank goodness. But that's for my mom. But I live in a big family of sports fans and everything. But it's kind of really if a prayer, things have amplified when people get together for the same reasons too. There's an amplification, there's a curve actually that hits too. And it's really exciting getting together with you guys and like you hearing, more people thinking and talking the same way and everything, because, that's what's really making it happen. Because otherwise you got people just on the boob tube, sucking off the teat of what are they sucking on type deal. And like, we're on the opposite end, type, you're trying to, wake it up or amplify it is a better term, and let it reverb and it pulse out a little bit more. Butterfly's wings, because it's really it really is that. And if it's each, like Stella said, a person once told me this that, and I very much respect, but we really do have, through the course of our life, like the movie Matrix, it's real. We really do have the power of a small time in the course of our lifetime, our average lifetime. Some people, I'm sure, I'm sure it moves around a little bit, but like if you really think of that and like how much energy we produce and like what this whole thing is all about and the whole conscious focus, it should make anyone awake and aware just like go the other way. Like you said, it's all engagement. You can engage an argument every day. There's an argument waiting right around every corner. I promise. But people, when you go at things, or sometimes you look at the argument coming away and you just kind of look and, nah, I don't feel like even wasting my breath. I'm just going to go this way. Not to say nothing offensive. No. Just look at them like they're stupid and kind of go the other way. You know what I mean? Just go off the other way. Yeah, and that's all it really is what we get engaged in. I think certain individuals engage in certain things, have an effect on, consciousness a little more and on stuff. And I think, I'm glad that we're all here. And, it's like my other buddy, James, he's hard up on this legality, but he's fighting, you know what I mean? Screw the man, he's knocking down the door and all that kind of stuff. But it's really cool to see in the different avenues, even coming in on different ways, like how it's all, correlating together. And, but that's just, things too, is just like, cause I have my buddy James, and I wanted to do the farm thing. My buddy Alex that I went up there with, he's actually got another friend that's got a huge hemp farm going on. They actually got the hemp farm going up in Oregon first. And I got another buddy in Colorado. He's got something, it's like acres or something like that. So, but what I'm trying to say is, like, through my course and me wanting to even get involved with this group and what sources bring me through the way and brought me right back here, the same thing is it's out there for you. If you just take a little venture, maybe I got a little crazy driving around, spending too much time out with certain people, whatever. But I really want to. I'm kind of the guy that likes to take a look, shake hands, and meet eye to eye, and then say hi. And it was really that. I haven't gotten to everyone I really want to. A couple of you around here, actually 4 of you so far that I know around here. But it's really it's kind of cool just seeing that, as far, just for me to give an example of like how Source even works if you really care about it and where it brings you right back. I should have been up there till like November now to bring back a good amount, but would have done really well. But I could sit here and get mad, but at the same time, I'm way more happier here now, back like showing with you guys and on my more knowledge quest. I did take the little farm trip. And I know I could go make some money and do things that way, but like I listen, and it's really interesting, and I'm glad. I hope y'all kind of understand that and see where I'm coming from with that, even too. And just by continuing to be with Source and like doing the meditation and all that kind of stuff when you can, and just taking those moments with yourself and nature. You know what I mean?
Sounds good to me, Jacob. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob.
I'm going to call on Tina.
I have something that might help with the board. It's what I see when I'm doing the affirmation manifestation of the sovereignty. After all this started, it was about 2 weeks after all this started, I had a dream, and I was in this beautiful park, green grass, little lake on the side there. Tons of people all over the place wearing summer clothes, just laughing and playing, dogs running off leash, kids running around, people sitting at picnic tables, just eating and having a good time. And that's what I picture when I, say sovereignty.
That's beautiful. I'm going to hold on to that one. Yeah.
Thank you, Tina. And yeah, Sean, it's a dream board is like a collage of pictures of things that you want. So in our situation, for creating sovereignty for everyone in our group and our state, we need to create a dream board that shows pictures of just what Tina just said. Pictures of a family sitting on a park bench, having fun, no masks. People on the beaches, no masks. And you can also do dream books individually. That's another great one to have on your desk at all times, writing down things that you want.
Maybe they can be hugging. People can be.
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm like thinking maybe like it's
Can I add something important?
Sure.
So the same guy I listened yesterday, they were talking about some advice from like the health department in New York, and I think in another one was in Illinois. They said they talk about sex, and they were saying like it's not good the touchy. They were saying to try to be creative. So if you have sex, they even mention a wall. Like it wouldn't be physical connection, but whatever imagination you think. It was like bottom line, what they're trying to do now is separate more the human connection and what they start with is sexuality with the kids and talking about whatever movement they start with the kids and transhumanism, that there is different kind of male, female, and other descriptions nowadays, basically destroying the natural way of being human, right? So my point is to see the totality, what we are against, in terms of this is mind control, is reprogramming your brain, reprogramming your way of living, reprogramming everything. And I think this, what we are exercising is very powerful. And I think we're going to see more as we advance. We're going to discover more things because this life is like a dream, right? Having a good mind and imagination like Einstein or Tesla or the great minds, they were incredible visionaries. Like the vision of seeing everybody active at the beach and happy and laughing, suntanning. Well, we're creating the new earth. And I think this is the project we have. And I think we're starting to discover the power of the mind and the voice. Why the mask? It's the voice is my command. Destroying that.
Yeah, I agree. I think just trying to imagine what it could be. I mean, I guess like kind of like a vision board kind of a thing, right? Where you have a bunch of things. Maybe I can post it on the page. If I can throw some things together. I'm not much of a vision board kind of guy. I don't think I've ever made one, or a dream board. I've never made one like that. But maybe my mom can help me out with that. I think you might want to help me with that. Just like you might be able to pick out some pictures too, or even drawing it too might be kind of cool. I don't know. But yeah, I also wanted to point out we're kind of we're kind of a group mind, and we're here to think of the world like as it can be. You know, we're trying to be ahead of the curve. We're trying to think of things that the world will be, you know, at some point, but we're thinking of it, you know, before it happens. Just the positive changes that will eventually happen. It's just a matter of time. I recently, because I was growing food, I'm growing food now. I recently watched the whole masterclass of Ron Finley. Ron Finley has a masterclass, and one thing he pointed out, and I just want to share, it's so good. He said he asked this architect guy, or you know, he's asked people this before, but he asked this architect guy who's like helped design cities and stuff. He asked like, what is a city like this? What is a city scape, like a downtown area? What is that designed for? And the guy said, oh, it's designed for people. And it's like, no, it is not designed for people at all. Like, if it were designed for people, I could reach up and I could grab a pear right here and start eating it. Like, there would be food around me. There would be that would be designed for people. And that's like the kind of world, like, you know, that he just points out that's something we should be looking to see, a world designed for people. That's another.
Well, what
Yeah.
you're saying is, okay, this is tied up to a movement that happened in Europe in the early 30s and 40s and with the Industrial Revolution. So what I want to say, two things. One, before escape my brain, which is, there was a writer called Aldous Huxley. He wrote one, I know in Spanish, One Brave New World.
Brave New World.
Yeah, that one. Okay, it's interesting. That book, I read it when I was a teenager, and it caused an impact in my life. It's my best. It's the story of like really. I don't know why it was important, right? So I went to architecture. So we study everything what happened in Europe and the ideologies. And they were at that time in 1938, they called the dandy and the boulevard in France, where there are the coffee shops, and people were sitting and talking like what we're talking right now. And there were scientists, biologists, writers, and everybody were talking like this. How would be the cities or the world? How would be the science, the humans and babies? And this guy wrote that book at that time, 1938. His brother was a biologist, so they already knew about genetics at that time. So all that is connected with what's going on right now, because they're trying to create that book. And the story of that book is when one baby born outside the city, and he found all the books about the human experience, all about emotions, God, art, music. And at that time, that society couldn't feel. Everybody were taking special drugs. They were like robots. And recently, Anka, Trump's daughter, they mentioned in a tweet that book, and it kind of caught my attention. When all this started, I didn't connect the dots. And so what we're doing is actually the opposite what they're doing, these guys. That's where I see so potential. And at the same time, we're evolving, because as humans, and this energy coming from the central sun is supposed to activate our DNA, and we're supposed to activate the mind at a higher level, being conscious, creative, manifesting. You and I, we could have telepathy, because we have the same frequency and thought, and we start to spark in the same, we want to create a new city. How is that city? And ideas come like a river, flow of images, and we can create that. And what I'm saying this is, trust the plan. We are being part of the divine plan. and I see very clear this. And this is to give empowerment, because it's so simple but so powerful. And that's what how someone was saying, that's how the universe works. It's simple and powerful. And anyway, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it's a knowingness, right?
Yeah, it is clear like water. It is like, makes me like being happy, like, yes, this is it. We had to move forward and develop it stronger and add more staff, and everybody get empowered, and suddenly a project happen and things start to happen because money appears and you want to have the farm and things opens.
We manifest, we draw it to us.
Yes.
Jim, I'm going to sign off now. Say goodnight to everybody. I won't see you next week. I'll be on vacation. I will see you the week after. So,
hey, Phyllis, I missed the meeting. I'm sorry I got in late, so I'm here, and I just wanted to say hi before you go.
Just in time to say goodnight to you.
Okay,
yeah.
Good night, Ken. Nice seeing you.
Good
All
night.
right,
Yeah,
man.
really.
Cheers.
All right. Take it easy, you guys.
Night, Phyllis.
Bye,
Peace out.
Phyllis. Good to see you.
Night, Phyllis.
Okay, Ken, let's have it.
Oh, okay. Back again. How's everybody doing? Anything really important I need to know? A lot of heavy stuff going on. I've been putting out a lot of energy this week. Jim, you saw the emails I sent Phyllis. Did you discuss some of the restore sovereignty, and what have we seen? Any positive issues from anybody?
We didn't discuss that, Ken. We were waiting for you.
Dang.
I did look at everything, and I see you put a lot of work in again. I don't understand all of it, but I did look at it.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's over the target, definitely. Lots of strategic timing inserts, attacks going on today, especially in the last 2 or 3 hours, especially to keep me off.
Yeah.
Keep me to throw me off, vibrations, but I'm back. The Latin that I put in there is for the Dracos. I try and explain that in English. It gives it more power because it's the hidden language, right, of the Draco, and it's the English. It helps. I found it helps with the spell cast. The graphic that Phyllis sent me, I'm updating it every day. Now this is the third one I've sent out. Torpedo Genesis, or it contains all of our knowledge, this group mind, or this, it's in Latin on the email that group meant, right? And that actually, hold on a second, actually has a lot of all of our consciousness mixed up in this group mind that is so powerful. Last night especially, I was amped up and really putting out just firing torpedoes all over the place, and doing restore sovereignty, and at the same time to their own music, that one they played in Hollywood and in Vienna. And I saw in my remote views ships named Gates, ships named all the other Aries and all the other stuff, and getting hit by these torpedoes. And then and not my name Ken, but in English Ken means knowing. That torpedo was going out and hitting a 9/11, and a lot to bring forward the knowledge of what's being hidden from us. And also I noticed today the fear outside of my household coming from all over the place probably was, I don't know, from shining the light or whatever last night, really powering out the amps, that it was channeled my direction and spotted it, and There's been some really wild stuff going on today that threw me off, and that's why I'm late. But know that last night, I mean, I've been putting out this Fire Net Torpedo Genesis, Restore Sovereignty. I've got that there's in persona propera. This comes from this gal that was on MeWe, the black gal. I don't know if you all saw her, but she talked about how the, excuse me, I'm cooking turkey burgers at the same time. How the sovereignty is used in the Admiralty Court system as in persona propera vis-a-vis. I say vis-a-vis because they flip them. And also that there's the rule of silence, but you only spit out the paperwork. And if you're in the court in Admiralty law, the way to get around it is you say amor, amorish. You say I am more, amor. And in persona propera, vis-a-vis, I throw that in there for myself.
That's Italian, right? That's Italian.
Well, it's also Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, tutto bene, tutto bene.
Oh, but
yeah,
listen to this.
It's Latin. Latin in the Spanish way.
Yeah, but amor, it's love. But in Spanish, you spell it in reverse, inverted, and means Rome. And look at
what?
Rome, the city of Rome, the Vatican.
Oh, Roma,
exactly.
Yeah,
so
I'm aware
if you
of that.
think about it, amor is the freedom, the power
Moorish.
of the life force. Yeah.
Right.
And
amor.
And Rome would be the opposite, the black sun.
Right. So when this gal, maybe y'all didn't see her, or they yanked her off or whatever issue, but I did. I was able to watch her, and because of my experience in the courtroom, I'm going to speakerphone. Because of my experience in the courtroom, what happened to me and Wendy was unlawful civil seizure, and what I had to learn. That is all loaded up into the program I'm using, Restore Sovereignty, that we said we would do is the name, right? So we are more, and it's actually M-O-O-R-E, or Moorish, as I understand. It's wild because my last name is Morris, and my first name is Ken, and that's knowing, but not being egotistical. It's just the dots, connecting the dots. So when you are in the courtroom or speaking, this is new information I think we all need to know. I have not been able to get on MeWe or check anything in, I think, 2 days, but, or yet, I'm going to put it this way. I'm going to say it like I would say to a magistrate, and I would not say your honor, I would say my honor. My honor, I am Ken. Amor. In persona propera. Vis-a-vis and sovereign. And that's when you stop talking. You just know it. And the paperwork in the court, or whoever you're dealing with, and because you've said that, and you stop talking, and what she said is the law of silence. Okay? Because your mouth just gets you in trouble in the courtroom. That's what they bank on. It's called pro se. When you're trying to serve to protect yourself and you can't find a lawyer, they won't represent you because of the sheriff-coroner issue tied in with the coroner, the violation of the Separation of Powers Act, because the sheriff can whack somebody and then sign them off and burn them up in the coroner, as the coroner, and sign that too. See what I mean? So I may be I'm hurrying because I know it's late and I got turkey burgers on, but I wanted you all to know that. As far as being, you can look it up and do your own research. She was on YouTube, and I think I saved the link, but I think she got whacked off, but I'll look for it. But that's, if you go in, I can say, I am Jim, Amor, and in persona propera, and I am sovereign. And then that's it. That's bingo. You've done it. And so if we know that, as far as put that into Restore Sovereignty, when you say that every day and put that energy out and think about it with the law of attraction, because I definitely attracted some stuff. I must have been over the target last night, and I think I've said enough. So, Jim, you got anything else to say, or anybody else?
I never use that name, Ken. When they ask me, I tell them I'm a peaceful inhabitant.
Right.
Expressing my freedom to travel.
Okay. That's right. And, you know, that's what got me in trouble, Jim. Was not in trouble, but what the issue is there's the Beaufort's Law. It's not Black's Law. It's called Beaufort's Law. Like if the attorney is not understanding the information during, let's say, disclosure, he would say, or she would say, confusion. And he would say, Your Honor, but you don't say Your Honor, you're saying my honor because it's a magistrate, not a judge. So it's a big subject with me, but because I was in a court of non-reporting, but that's part of the sovereignty thing. Has anybody else noticed anything this week as far as attracting information or power into the sovereignty group mind that we were working on?
Yeah, actually, I forgot to share this. I heard a guy from Europe that he's going to be speaking at the UN in October. A group of scientists, they have proof of everything about the harmful use of, electronics and how people are being tortured and getting sick and, 5G and all that. And I put the recording in the group, no, New Earth and the other one. And actually it's international, and it's going to be a presentation, I think, in Argentina this week. And it's like a worldwide movement. They're trying to bring, internationally.
Sorry, but
And I think that's very important, the awareness of usage of, Wi-Fi and smart technology. And it's harmful, the usage also of frequencies, because I notice on the phones, especially in the night, they send some frequencies that really affects my body. And I have to put the phone away and turn it off, and I turn off the cellular. I do everything off, like cellular, Bluetooth, all the, the Wi-Fi, and then I put the plane mode, and I charge it away from my bedroom, in another room. And I notice a difference.
yeah,
Sean.
big time.
Go ahead,
We
Sean.
talked about that.
I just wanted to say that I guess the one good news about the whole masks thing, about the whole thing, we got was those doctors on, what was it, on next to the White House? They were
In court, in front of the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
The
Yeah,
doctor, the lady.
yeah, all those doctors. They were all speaking about it, and that's a huge thing. It was so good. It was so damning that, they were, trying to discredit these people, like right away, saying like that, especially the black lady, they're saying, oh, she's a straight up conspiracy theorist. She believes in all these horrible things. Like, like she believes like, in like,
Witches and demons.
yeah, demons, something about demons and witch demons and
Or voodoo, anything that can throw at her, right?
well, yeah, they were just grudging up what she believed. And who cares? Like literally, who cares? They say she claims to have cured like hundreds of COVID patients. Well, just check. Don't just this is the kind of stuff they're like throwing at us to discredit them, and they say claims, but it's like Or if you're fact checking someone, if you're trying to check, wouldn't you check if they have done that? They didn't even check, and if because they did, they would see that she did. You know,
That's why.
she did cure them. That's what they would have found. So they wouldn't. Oh, they want to say that. Like, what does it matter what somebody believes if what they're doing is working? You know, so really, you know.
That was a powerful video, and the minute it came up, Chuck Spangler, who's a member here in our group, he posted that on Facebook, and I got a notification immediately, and so I went over, looked at it, and listened to it for a little bit, and then went to comment, and it was immediate. My comment was immediately taken off by Facebook. And then if you go back and look at that video that he posted, it's got 2 or 3 fact checks under it, underneath. You know, and I've heard that from many other people around the community. You know, anyone that shared that or posted it, they were all fact checked.
But it was running fast, and people were putting in a different website because I got it after it got blocked, and I got it from another website.
Oh yeah, it got out.
They couldn't stop it.
They were too late.
Right. Apparently, like
too late. And to answer your question, Ken, one thing I noticed, you said you weren't on MeWe this week. I don't know if you heard, but I don't spend too much time with the Life Force thing, but I had to go there just for clarification. That now this is the first time since I've heard of Kim Gogwin for the last 2-3 years that she's been was with THI and Thomas.
You mean the one with her sitting in the library with half missing books? Is that the one?
That could have been the video. It was part 2 that was put out on July 26th, and she actually stated that she was able to get funds transferred into the system. And for anybody that doesn't know, for years, Thomas has been telling everyone, the minute $1 hits that system for trust funds, it's game over.
Okay,
So,
I looked at that video. I hope. Yeah?
Go ahead.
I looked very hard at that video, even a magnifying glass in front of the screen, the LCD screen. I looked at the background of the library. I looked at there was a African or Indian darker colored skinned woman who was on the interview desk for their new channel. I was checking her out when Kim was speaking. I was looking at her real close. Now I hope that that's correct, but I haven't yet. I have not seen any or felt anything that any money was put out. Has anybody got proof of that, or we need to fact check that and research it and double check it, or wait until we hear from Thomas tomorrow night? But with Kim at the end of that video, she looks to me, I don't want to put a negative spin on or spin it, but if you all want to go look at it yourselves again, look at what happens at the end of near the end of the video, and watch that gal, the darker skinned gal. She blinks like crazy, and at the end of that, and there's nothing on the table. There's no signs. Look at the background of the pictures where the darker skinned lady is different. It's not a flowing one picture, like they're different cities. And Kim is in a library. You can tell from the books in the background, there's half of them have been removed, but they still have the little ID stickers on them. But near the end of the video, she looks up over at another person and nods. She does it twice. And I would be really curious to know, or to know what y'all feel about that look when she does that. Okay? I think there's a message there, and I'm not going to say what it is. There's going to spin plates, what I call it, and just check it out again one more time. I hope you're correct, Jim. But we'll see. Just check it out again.
I can't say whether it's true or not, Ken. I just, like I said, I really do not spend that much time with that particular group. I've always spent much more time with Thomas, and Thomas was up. We were participating with Thomas for 2 or 3 years before Kim even showed up, and that's not the reason why I don't participate. I just, I'm more interested in Thomas's information, and when I hear it from him, I tend to have more trust. But
the truth frequency is there, yeah.
Yeah, I was just putting that out there to show the synchronicity of that taking place, just as we're focusing
I see what you mean. Okay.
Focusing on sovereignty. And that, if that is true, that could be a big step towards sovereignty for us all.
Okay, I'm not. I would like to tell you one more thing before I get Estella, please, just one more minute about this issue. If y'all please look at that and look at her face and see if you can tell what she's feeling when she looks up and nods at somebody else. And because I'm not going to say who she's looking at the time, but it may be correct. And check it out. Well, when she took off from Thomas, that trust, I put my hand in the river of betrayal, and I grabbed that son of a gun and saved that thing. And if it's real or not, I don't know. But if she's got it back, she has to have the right frequency for the quantum system to allow her to even get in there, even if she has the numbers. And I hope you're correct, Jim. And when it's happening, when we're doing the sovereignty thing, but please check out the end of that video. Maybe next week, when we do our call next Wednesday, hopefully I can make it on earlier, and you can tell me what you think about that. And we'll hear Thomas tomorrow too. Okay, I'm done, Estella.
I listened to that video, and I'm not very knowledgeable, but I'm a feeler. I mean, I feel things. Okay, so. Not knowing all the theoretical how things work, but what sounded weird to me was when she mentioned, I think it's Chuck, or a guy who is in the government who was looking for funds and knock at the door at different places and reach her for funding, and then she mentioned the 2%. And then she started to talk about the cost of running her, office with expenses. And then she mentioned the 2% for the people. But then what sounded to me wrong, like saying, this came to my mind, why is she negotiating with the people that they don't have any more power on the trust? Because the trust is for the people. Since 2012, the sovereignty and the resources go back to the people. And we are in a process to relearn to use our sovereignty and to do our actions toward humanity in intention. So there is no more doing things for the self-gratification would be doing things for the totality, right? And that's what was a flag to me. And then I said, well, if these people taking us as we are all dead by law, right? We don't exist as living forces. For me, if I am charged of the trust, is the sovereignty goes to the living souls.
You betcha.
Okay? And I will not allow any funding they're not working for the totality. If you add, because there is no right and no wrong, we should not judge even if an old soul suddenly wants to work for the totality. Welcome to the club. Because we are in elaborating a new phase. And that's what was the message I got from that, like saying, Wrong. Red flag.
Wrong,
Boom.
wrong. It's good. I'm glad to hear that because that's what I got. I didn't want to say that, Jim or Estella or whoever's on else. I wanted to say the same thing. I did not get the truth frequency out of her. I felt she was under control, and at the end of the video, she nodded at the person who she was under their control. Is everything okay? Check it out at the end of that video. Look at the library. She's in a library, and half the books are missing, like they shuffled them around to look like she's in her living room. No, there's tags on the books.
What I call it that she's playing the game. She's not in full control.
That's correct. And what happened to me when I heard confirmed is that trust, that people's trust was flowing down. I reached my hand down into the river of betrayal and pulled the trust out and put it back into the post office where it is still with my sovereignty in persona propera. I am more, I'm kin. And I put it back in the post office, or it was never left. I didn't allow it to be taken out of the post office by that frequency that's there. So I didn't want to spin any plates, but I'm glad to hear that someone else felt the negativity. And look at the desk and the background around the dark-skinned girl who is interviewing, and how often she blinks.
Well,
check it out.
You know, my voice is my command, and this come to me as intuitive. You know, I'm an intuitive. I don't use my brain. I use what comes through my voice. Okay. And
yeah, me too.
Actually, this week, what I had is almost like a force coming from my mouth, and I couldn't control it.
That's kind of sound current.
Yeah, everything I saw is like saying, it's not allowed. The divine plan is here. The good guys are here, and it's unstoppable. Sorry, you don't comply with impeccability.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
And, you know, we're here again like in 2016. The good guys, the divine plan, you cannot stop it. So all the bullshit is going on. I just stop it like that. You know, I'm sorry.
Thank you both. That's very interesting comments. Bill, is it you or Jeannie that has their hand raised?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
Go ahead, Bill.
I just had a comment on what they're talking about, the video. I watched the video. The backgrounds were CGI. It was not real backgrounds. And they were probably both in the same room, and Kim was just looking over at Eva. That's all. That's what I saw.
Well, maybe, but did you check out the shelves where the books are? She's in a library with half the books removed.
It's just a CGI background.
A green screen. They're using green screen.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That makes sense.
Yep. Okay, well, that's possible. I would like to get what you felt when she looked up at that person, what you felt in your heart, Bill. When she looked up, maybe everybody that's listening can look at that again at the end and feel it and see what you think again. I don't know. Did you feel that she was looking up at another screen in a control room, in front of a green screen? Look around the edges of her hair.
In the same room with Eva, and they were just, talking, and they had separate green screens going. So.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
Technology was not that up. It wasn't very high quality. The sound was horrible.
It was.
And
CGI lighting in the background is different than the lighting on her. It's real obvious.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get all this fancy stuff going, using all kinds of fancy stuff, etc., as if that's impressive. So, whatever.
We'll wait and see. Yeah, wait and see. Exactly.
I was on the phone call, and I didn't pick up anything like that, but I will go back and look at the video.
Go ahead and eat.
And see
what. Go ahead and eat. I'm just talking to Wendy. Hold on. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, that's it.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. It was definitely, as Estella, I got that kind of feeling, and And so it's in the post office. Interesting to see what Thomas has to say tomorrow, everyone?
Yeah, and
He
the,
did make a few comments that I just saw briefly, and they weren't pro-life force. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. I got that. I don't trust Tank at all. I never get the truth frequency from him. I noticed some other videos where his eyes were moving around separate from each other on the I don't know what he is or what that was at the time. It was one video where it was jerky, and I was able to pause and stop, stop in high definition, and it was kind of freaky. And ever since then, I just don't get good stuff. I checked also, I think it was Willow who said, oh, we got a bunch of, they did their law center, the law place that they're associated with. They did this, and they did that, and they did this. And I remember I asked her on the call, I said, well, did you look up in the government section and look for what they filed? Did you verify the information? And she says, oops, no, I did not. I'm going to do that. And I haven't heard back from her yet, but I don't think I looked for it. I couldn't find it, and I'd like to. You know what I mean?
I heard from Willow last night. She just wanted to say hello to everybody. She's out traveling, handing out flyers all over Utah and Colorado, but she's on her way back, coming back to California, and she just wanted to say hello.
Cool.
Did you hear from Kimberly?
I haven't heard a thing from Kimberly since she went on her mission up there into the Sequoias, I believe. Maybe Ken knows more about that. I think he talked to her before she left. But
yeah, I thought I got an email that said that she had returned and was. You didn't send me an email from that when I asked about it, Jim, or that she had come back and she was busy going to family stuff and had finished,
no,
or didn't you send something?
I just forwarded your email to her by way of messenger.
Okay.
And
then I will check.
She didn't get back to me.
Kimberly was on the call for Life Force on Sunday when they made that video. So I was on
Hagstrom?
Kimberly and Hagstrom. Yeah, when I came on, when anybody came on, they put you inside kind of a side room or something like that until they got your name,
right,
etc. And then they would let you in. And so I was on before she was, but then Kimberly, she announced Kimberly Hagstrom, so she was on the call. That's all I know.
You don't know what she said, or didn't feel her vibration, and did you get in? Did you watch it? Listen to it?
Well, she was listening in. I don't think she spoke during.
It sounds like she's safe. That's really all that matters.
That's all that matters. I just want to make sure. I'm going to go ahead and call her or email her. I will do that. I've been sending her the other things. So yeah, she's important.
Okay, Pam J's got her hand raised. Maybe she's got something for us.
Yeah, I was thinking back to the video with Kim Gogin. I noticed that someone said they couldn't see her, and I could see her, but maybe she wasn't there, and kind of a view of her. She's kind of in this light that made her look almost a ghost. And so that was one of the things that I noticed. It was strange. So just letting you know.
Yeah, her audio was off also. So they might just be in growing pains as far as getting their platforms set up. I mean, that's a possibility.
That's possible, yeah.
But who knows? We're not depending on that anyway. We're going forward with sovereignty for ourselves, our group, and our state.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I just got a tap, Jim. It said put it reverse, back up and turn right when you started saying I don't go that direction. So that definitely, I don't think that path is. We'll see what happens. I'm not forcing or looking at it or spinning plates. But I can tell you this: the trust is safe in the post office, and that we'll find out some more from Thomas. And that's about all I got to say. And I'm very apologize. Please forgive me for being late. But we're definitely over the target.
Ken, I'm going to add to my intention that the sovereignty of the trust for the people as real, as
right.
a fact.
That's correct.
And that's a beautiful way of giving back to humanity what was
Ooh,
taken.
I just got goosebumps. Yeah, right on, right up the spine, out the top of my head. Good for you.
Because one of the things I heard very clear in myself was humanity needs to decide what they want the next phase, and we finish the old earth, and the new earth is what we desire, and what we want is the unification of humanity to a new way of living, and that's the sovereignty, the image of everybody happy.
I get too, Estella, that one that's not the time yet, but that we will, at the right frequency in the right time, will be able to transfer funds ourselves.
Right, but
into our projects.
Visualizing that trust as it already happened is a fact. Is humanity trust, it's humanity resources, is the abundance of the people, is there waiting, but it's already belongs to humanity. It's like, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it's basically the universe is going to hear us. And by us visualizing that and embracing that with our daily sovereignty and experiencing the sovereignty, it's a done deal.
It is. Already with me, I know it is. I know it is.
Yeah.
Look at my name.
Yeah.
It really doesn't set a lot, Kim. I'm into the more thing too. By the way.
Yeah, and another verification of what the exercise sovereignty is, I start to see a lot of doctors in Argentina and here they're talking about the truth about the vaccines. So, and they're speaking out, like saying, I'm sorry. People were crying and saying, yes, and alters your DNA, it's terrible. You're no longer, like a human, you sterilize you, and all these things are the impact of this vaccine. The more the truth come out, it's a done deal. This is going to go away because it's not going to be allowed. It's part of, you cannot change the divine plan. So, but it's a hidden agenda, and you accept, like, oh, the mask, oh, the vaccine, oh, I'm going to get cured. You're accepting whatever it comes with that vaccine. The more we know, it's just no allowed.
No, it's a mathematical certainty, as you put it. That it will not. NOT. Yeah.
Well, but in the wording, you don't say no. You're exempt. You are with the divine plan, which is a different plan. It's not in my timeline.
Right.
It's not allowed in my timeline.
That's correct.
Oh, it is. It's basically you're confirming your vision. It's like, this is my vision. This is mine. It's not you. I'm not jumping in yours. Sorry.
Right.
You can go ahead, but I'm in this train. And that's how you maintain the vision alive in your fields, because you envision I'm in this timeline. Like when people say, oh, California is going to earthquake, and they say, sorry, that's not what I feel about California. So you're not allowing those fields or those frequencies to embrace, to manifest. You just maintain your vision because you're embracing your field. Yes, because you're living a timeline. It doesn't allow that kind of low frequency. Sorry. I'm in the dancing. Sorry.
Pam J has her hand raised.
Oh, I just spoke, and that was about Kim and the ghostly image of her in that video. That was very strange. So I'll
okay.
lower my hand.
Just lower your hand, and we only have about 6 minutes left. So Estella, if you want to finish us up tonight.
Well, I just gonna go back to my comment, because this comment came with no thinking, and just re-experience what I just said. When you believe so strongly in your choice and what you're experiencing, that's a timeline, because you're choosing to
watch out
walk
for the word believe, Estella.
Okay.
You know, right?
No, I don't know, but what I'm saying is what you feel you're
That's
experiencing.
better.
Yeah, what you feel is what you're choosing to experience. And you're confirming your vision. And that's how you transmute or change waves of low frequency that comes to you, is you reinstate or you use your voice, like your mantra that everybody has their own phrase, to recenter your sovereignty. And I just want to mention
right. It's called sound current, and I'll just say real quick, the coupling of the heart, mind as a tool, and the passion of thought and knowingness, sovereignty, and that sound current, coupled with all that, is very powerful. Good for you, Estella.
Define your dream and get a burning desire for its achievement.
Yeah, and allow yourself to flower, like a flower, open and shine. That's what sovereignty does to you, because you become the one you are.
Okay.
Outstanding. Okay, well, I am Ken. I am more in persona propera in sovereign, and I'm going to go ahead and take off because I got to eat the turkey burgers that are probably cooled off by now. And anything else?
Anybody else?
Grateful for everyone here. There's always some really good ideas. Thank you all.
Thank you, Pam.
Okay. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, shiny ones.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good to hear y'all.
Bye.
Y'all have a good night. Jim, I'll call you tomorrow.
Yep, I'll get a hold of you with some information.
Bye, bud.
Good night. Night, everybody.
Night, Stella.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks.
Thank you all.
Night.
Bye.